Hello, we are from Nanaba Group. In this presentation, we are going to talk about child phone addiction, specifically the problem between the mobile device generation, which includes children and adults as parents. So these are the main topics for today's presentations. We will show our PSA video in this issue, the statistics, as well as discuss the professional's thought with our survey and study result. Next, we will talk about the integration of product, nanobot, and lastly, our content strategy tools for this PSA. Before we start the video, this is our short PSA video, so check this out. Well, we hope you enjoyed the video. Certainly encapsulate the current issue, and actually we hope that you guys have a brief understanding toward children's phone addiction. Based on the video itself, it shows children from various countries nowadays have similar problems in overusing smartphones, which is a common, at the same time, a dangerous issue worldwide. And also, if you notice, by the end of the video, we give a direct persuasion and the first introduction of the Nanaba app by putting our barcode as well.
Our PSA video is to be used as the main vehicle of the PSA rollout, targeting the parents of children whom were affected by addiction. The use of the video was determined to be effective due to the correlations between parents who were phone addicted and their children themselves having this addiction from a young age. Thus, the use of a video that is distributed on social media to the parents of children whom are most affected by addiction is the most effective way to reach them. This video includes several methods of communicating the issue of phone addiction, including the use of rhetorical questions to get them to think, as well as facts about the experienced impacts of phone addiction in children. The issue of phone addiction is one that's rampant in the world at large and something that particularly affects children growing up today. There are no previous generations of adults to be able to know the full extent of the impacts of mobile devices at such a young age. But studies coming out now on the generations currently growing up, Generation Z and Gen Alpha, of children that are ranging from people in their 20s to babies, are showing disturbing trends and impacts of phone use. Although phones have their positives, they make the everyday world a lot easier for people. Over-reliance on these devices has serious effects. Studies performed over the last decade have shown strong evidence of correlation between the problematic use of cell phones, i.e. the use of mobile devices by those suffering from phone addiction, as well as negative impacts to life through those addictions. These associated behaviors include neuroticism, impulsivity, sleep disturbance, anxiety, stress, and depression. It's not just children whom can benefit from increased knowledge and awareness around phone addiction. The parents of phone-addicted children are likely to be addicted themselves and may not realize exactly how much their behavior around phones, as well as their allowance of mobile devices to their children, is affecting them. Studies show that negative relationships between phones and the parents' guardians of children, particularly the primary care parent, in many cases the mother, affects the children. Research shows that unhealthy habits cause both earlier ages for adoption of phones, a risk factor for addiction, and that as young as 12 years of age, children mimic the phone habits of their parents, meaning that although phone-addicted parents may not realize they're impacting their children, their addiction is being passed down to their kids through the setting of unhealthy standards and examples of phone use. In South Korea, the issue of phone addiction is particularly relevant because of the large population of phone users in the country. An approximate figure of 93% of the Korean population have a mobile phone. This rate of mobile phone penetration is much higher even than other OECD countries, with France having a rate of just 82%, while Japan has just 78%. Korean youth are particularly affected due to this mass adoption. The use of smartphones is such a massive part of the culture of South Korea at the moment that infrastructure has begun to be designed around it. Examples include mind the gap signs in subways and the lights on the ground at pedestrian crossings that tell the people who are looking down at their phone that the lights have turned red or green to avoid accidents in the pedestrian population. Accordingly, the age of phone adoption is an area of concern for phone addiction. Phone use at an early age has been identified as a risk factor that can contribute to addiction and harmful behaviors around mobile phones continuing on later in life. Worldwide, the age of phone adoption is considered to be around 11.6 years of age. That statistic of average age of adoption is relevant to the assumed age of transference of addiction. If a child has ownership of a phone at 11.6 years, then addictive behaviors can be seen to be inherited by age 12. In South Korea, however, the average age of adoption of mobile phone use is much lower. Thus, the extrapolated age of addiction transference could also be lower as well. In Korea, 99.1% of all children aged between 6 and 19 have a mobile phone. This means that of a total population of 93% phone users, 99% of all school-aged children have a phone. This early adoption directly relates to negative impacts of phone use.
Moving on, these are some proof of phone addiction cases in South Korea. There are several reasons why South Korea has a high prevalence of phone addiction cases that covers technological advancements, connectivity, cultural factors, educational and work demands, social media influence, the gaming culture, escapism, and stress relief, and the lack of awareness. Addressing the issue of phone addiction in South Korea requires a multi-phase approach, including awareness, promoting healthy smartphone habits, and fostering a balanced approach to technology use. The effects of phone addiction, building upon the initial findings, it is important to understand the specific effects experienced by individuals who identified as using their phones too much. Excessive smartphone usage has been linked to various consequences, including decreased productivity, poor academic performance, sleep disturbances, and physical health issues, and also mental health challenges such as anxiety, depression, and social isolation. To provide a more comprehensive analysis of the survey results on phone addiction in South Korea, particularly among teenagers and kids, we conducted a quantitative study to gain deeper insights into the prevalence and effects of excessive smartphone usage. The first is the extent of phone addiction. The survey revealed that a significant portion, specifically 40.6% of the respondents, acknowledged that they use their phones excessively. This suggests a concerning trend of phone addiction among teenagers, which can have a detrimental effects on their overall well-being and daily functioning. By conducting the survey among a diverse age group, including kids, teenagers, and young adults, ranging from 6 to 25 years old, we were able to obtain more comprehensive results regarding smartphone usage. The findings highlight some interesting trends and patterns. The first one is early adoption. Surprisingly, the survey revealed that a significant number of adolescents had their own phones as early as 3 years old. This suggests that smartphone ownership has become increasingly common at a younger age, possibly driven by factors such as parental convenience, safety concerns, and the growing prominence of technology in daily life. Second one is prolonged usage. The survey results indicate that a majority of respondents, comprising over 55%, spend more than 3 hours per day using their mobile phones. This exceeds the average daily usage time observed in previous studies. This prolonged engagement with mobile phones may be attributed to various factors, including the influence of digital entertainment, social media interactions, and educational purposes.
Our solution against this phone addiction is Nanaba. Nanaba is a great study help for people with low attention span like children from this generation. You might wonder how it all works. Well, let's get into it. With Nanaba, parents have the possibility to set timers on their kid's phone and select apps they want to put restrictions on. Then, if the kid wants to use these selected apps, he or she will have to do a short quiz before entering the app of their choice. Once they are in the app and using it, a timer is triggered, and if they want to use the app more than the first timer allows, They will have to take another quiz to unlock the access to the app again. To be more specific, Nanaba's features allow for parental control of time spent on each app. They have the option to block the access to an app after a certain number of timers. The Nanaba app offers questions adapted to many school levels from 6 to 16, and it offers parents and their kids the possibility to have a grade board to see what questions the kid got right or wrong. Overall, it is a great way to manage the use of social media apps while studying at the same time so that kids can get... The app is quite cheap. It is only €5 a month, and it is just as expensive as a Spotify premium account, which is a great argument for parents to get it for their kids. Because even at this low price, they will have access to all the features mentioned before to help their kids get a smarter screen usage. But Nanaba has potential, and we can do more with this app. To get a better engagement from the kids, the app could partner up with scientific popularization TV shows like Mythbusters in the United States, Backyard Science in Australia, and C'est pas sorcier in France. This will allow to promote the app to both parents and children, and therefore reach a broader audience. To reach more people from an older age group, Nanaba could also reach out to famous universities like Harvard, Cambridge, or Seoul National University to create questions on the app that would be useful to people trying to get into these universities. Taking these options on Nanaba could lead to micro-certifications from these universities like MOOCs to attest that these students have done efforts to study specifically for these renowned universities. It could also be a way for people to work on their general knowledge and take a break from social media every once in a while, no matter what age group they are part of. We talked before about the impact that the relationship a parent has with their phone impacts the relationship their kid will have with theirs. Well, by using Nanaba too, with questions adapted to them, parents could lead the way and show the example to their kids. Nanaba has the potential to be a global app. It is easily adaptable to any country with a quick translation and adaptation to the target country's school programs requirements. To give Nanaba the Korean touch, we could adapt to the Korean studying way. Since tutors are much more popular here, a tutor feature could be added to the app. This feature would let the kid's tutor input questions adapted to what the kid is currently studying. The tutor will have access to the grade board of the kid using the app. Course information could be updated by the teacher of a class to be tailored to their school subject, and the school could also have access to it to add their personalized courses on the app directly and exclusively for the students.
So, in this part, I will explain about our infographic. First thing first, in general, infographics are graphic visual representations of information, data, or knowledge intended to present information quickly and clearly. In advertising or marketing, infographics play a vital role as infographics provide an opportunity to showcase our brand identity, incorporate our brand colors, logos, and typography to maintain consistency with the overall brand image. This will help viewers associate the infographic with our brand. So in this infographic, we present complex data and concept as well as in a visually appealing with easy to understand format. We use graphs and showing fun facts with percentages, icons, and illustrations to simplify information and make it more accessible to our target audience. By this method, we are sure that it is eye-catching and can quickly grab the attention of viewers. Since we use vibrant colors, strong purple, yellow, and white as our main color, we applied both typography to emphasize the message and appealing visual to make the infographic visually stand out from the others. We also highlight the key and focus on most important and relevant information to our PSA and our brand. On the top of our infographic, we put the main title in an engaging way Save Children from Phone Addiction, with capital letters to emphasize the urgency of the issue and reflect our overall message. Following with the brief explanation of the issue, we also provide the common adverse effects of the phone addiction in children and put symbols of each problem as illustrations. Additionally, we present some fun facts about the issue. We're also showing the percentages of survey and study results, as well as give a reminder for the target audience, which parents to be more aware of their children's phone usage. Not to forget, we directly give a solution with our brand app, which is Nanaba. We try to use visual hierarchy in order to emphasize key points and ensure that viewers can easily grasp the main message by using headlines, color highlight, and call out to draw attention to the most important elements. Continuing to the solution of the Nanaba app part, we introduce it by highlighting the app's main features. This strategy could help make audience want to know the app further because the app itself is open to the real solution of the problem. It is also supported by the advancement of digitalization. The infographic also has a picture of a happy family as a result of using the app and having a good bond in a family relationship, even though the existence of smartphone. At the end, we also give a CTA or call to action for people to install the app and start the solution with Nanaba by putting a scan barcode with a persuasive message on it. In conclusion, we have examined the serious problem of phone addiction, illuminating its prevalence, effects, and contributing causes leading to survey to have real and accurate proof, and by addressing Nanaba as a potential solution. We have learned a lot about the intricate nature of this phenomena by conducting our own survey and consulting Partian periodicals, our surveys of our varied range of people, together with past study data, have indicated an alarming incidence of phone addiction. The findings show that a sizable proportion of people, particularly kids, teens, and young adults, recognize excessive phone usage and its harmful consequences. Reduced productivity, academic impairments, sleep difficulties, physical health concerns, and mental health challenges that are among the consequences. The results of this study have significant consequences. There is an urgent need for attention and action since phone addiction is now recognized as a serious social problem. In order to promote healthy technological habits and create digital well-being, education, awareness campaign, and support network are essential, while introducing Nanaba as an app that has a major role to control social media and smartphone usage by constantly giving its users knowledge every day to reduce the negative impacts of phone addiction.
Thank you for listening for our presentation, and don't forget to download Nanaba.